What's up?
Welcome to Rick's Corner. Today I have a very special guest who's a lot different than most of the guests I have, because most of my guests are into bodybuilding and fitness, nutrition, all that, even though he is. But aside from that, he's a motivational speaker, which I think a lot of us need. And he goes out and he gives speeches to events and to different places and has been quite successful. He has a book out, and we met a couple of weeks ago, and he's been on my mind a lot because he's a very smart guy, very nice guy, very funny, and I've learned a lot just by having him. So it's my pleasure to have Cornell Thomas here sitting next to me.
Thank you, Rick, for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words.
That was so hard.
I know. Because you said the exact opposite a couple minutes ago.
I did.
Yeah.
Because I really don't like you at all.
I know you don't.
I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. So let's talk a little bit about motivation, because, sure. And I'm going to let you go with this because this is what you do for a living, but you find that so many people need motivation, self-motivation, to get themselves going in the morning?
Yeah. Whether
it be a job or school or work or going to the gym or staying in shape or eating right, they just drop the ball every time. Tell me a little bit about what you think, why they do it, and how you get them out of it.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is discipline. And I don't have to say anything about this one to you. This is the way you live your life. But,
it is.
When I was 16 years old, I started playing basketball, and I was absolutely horrible. Like, I sucked. Yeah. But my mom raised 5 kids on her own since I was 3 years old. So I got to see that work ethic and that determination, and I realized if I want to be good at anything, I just got to work at it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of ingrained in my head. So when I coach people and I go out and speak, the biggest thing is, well, how do I get started? And I always say, well, you got to be willing to sacrifice what you like in order to get what you love.
Right.
So you might like going out with your friends, but how much do you love the thought of being successful or losing that 5 pounds or getting bigger? You know, so that's something that I try to preach to people all the time. And there's a disconnect because it takes work to get to that next level.
Well, it takes work to do anything. You know, people don't become millionaires by themselves without working at it. And sometimes it looks easy, but it's not easy. And to develop a good body, it takes a lot of work and discipline, like Schwarzenegger did.
Sure.
He was very disciplined. There's a lot of shortcuts today with drugs and things people take to get bigger in the gym, and the minute they go off, they lose it all. They think that's the answer. There's no shortcut to success, and I don't know if it's always about luck. I think it's something that falls from the sky, and you're kind of like, you put it out there and you get it back.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And it's opportunity, right? So the harder you work, the more the opportunity comes. So when you were working out, when you were coming up, I mean, people just came into your life because you were working so hard. You attracted those people. Well, it's amazing the negativity we attract when we're not doing anything, when we're just sitting on our butts.
Well, that's a good point right there, because most of my life, because I haven't lived all my life yet, but I intend to do another 40, 50 years, to 140. Who knows? It might happen. It might happen.
About 5 more years.
But my mom had told me, and she lived till 97, that she said, Rick, you're the luckiest guy I've ever seen. Things just come to you since I was a little kid. And I said, I don't know if they just come to me. I know you're right about that, because I'd say, I want something, and I really want it. And she says, by the time you're on the 3rd time you've said it, within a few days, you've had it. I would get it, and it just come out of nowhere. And a lot of stuff free.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I mean, I asked for things in my head. I think I want to get a new camera for my studio. I wanted this, and all of a sudden one appears out of somebody. Here, I got this for you.
Yeah.
And it just happens like that. Then I have friends who wake up in the morning and their day starts on a negative note, and it goes that way all day long. Everything they do turns out backwards and wrong. And they're bitter.
Yeah. So
the bitterness makes it, it carries through the next day. And am I right?
Yeah. Well, positivity and negativity both need one thing to grow, your momentum. So if you wake up in the morning and you stub your toe at 8 a.m. and then by 10 p.m. you're so pissed off about your toe, that one little instance becomes a big catastrophic thing.
Let me say one thing. I tell him to be quiet. He has to step on the creakiest wood on the floor.
Out of all the panels.
Yeah, you got to step on that one.
On the one that makes the most noise.
Can you believe that?
Why do we talk to him?
Because he's negative.
Good call.
The only one has got to be on that one.
Wise and sage. How can I make the most noise while we're saying good points?
Yeah, it's like going out to eat. I went out to eat with this friend of mine a couple of times, and the meal would come and be all wrong. He says, out of all the steaks, they give me the wrong one. And I had another friend years ago who, when the answer machines first came out, he goes to buy one. Now this guy's very picky. He used to buy clothing from him. He'd pick all the little cotton balls and put it in a plastic bag. It had to be just perfect.
Yeah.
So he goes, his answer machine, what they don't use anymore, went out, just failed on him. So he goes to Radio Shack and he sees a stack, end display. He takes the one out of the middle, and the other ones start to fall, but he grabs the middle one because he knows it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
He says, I got it, I paid for it, I took it home, I plugged it in, it didn't work. That's just the way his life would work.
Yeah, exactly.
Should have taken the one right off the top.
Yeah, because you know, inside he probably thought it's not going to work, no matter what he said.
Yeah.
And like for you, when you really believe the things that you were saying, a lot of people talk a lot of stuff like, man, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but inside they really don't believe it.
No.
Like, whatever I say, I know is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I think it's that, just that knowing, if I work hard enough for it, it's gonna happen, that makes it happen.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
How'd you figure this out? How old were you?
35. I was 35 years old. I'm 42 now.
And this is when you figured it out?
That's when I figured it out.
Took you that long?
Yeah. I'm not as smart as you.
No, you're smart.
Well, thank you.
You just don't look as smart.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, but like, I knew my mom raised us on everything happens for a reason when I was really young. But I didn't start living what I'm doing right now and my purpose, which I believe is helping people and pouring into people and giving back to people, until about 6-7 years ago. I started. I was on Facebook, and you have a humongous social media following. You have 1 million people that say amazing things about you. You have one person, because they have the keyboard courage, that's going to say something negative and stupid. Yeah. So one day I'm on Facebook, and it's just the most negative stuff I've ever seen in my life. And these are my friends on Facebook being negative. So I started taking positive quotes and putting it on Facebook. And then I lost a book one day, wrote my own quote. People still liked it. I said, well, screw the book. I'm going to make my own quotes. And then the quotes became blogs, and the blogs became books, and I decided to go out and start speaking.
Makes a lot of sense, because in your mind you can come up with all kinds of quotes. I used to read them and write them down, and I thought, that's pretty good, but that'd come out, well, you and I were brainstorming one day saying things back and forth, kidding, but things come out, and it's, it's pretty true how this works. It's really true. People that are haters on like YouTube, for example, I used to get them, and now I don't get them. I might get one out of the blue. Yeah. And that's just a person trying to vent his feelings because he hates the world. And there's people like that who hate the world and end up in Las Vegas shooting people like that, which is a total tragedy. Somebody could have saved this guy one time in his life and turned him around, but they didn't. And then you don't want to know who the next one is, because the world is evolving full of haters like that, and it's not right. It's something in the makeup. Maybe it's the economy, maybe it's the government, whatever it is, and the tragedies that people can't survive mentally out of this, and so they get depressed. Yeah. And then depression leads to other things, but there's always something good to think about. Yeah. Well, my thing is, the #1 combatant of negativity is gratitude. I don't care what you hit me with. If you're alive, I can show you something to be grateful for. Yeah. And I tell people are, oh, I don't have this, or I grew up like this, I didn't grow up with a father, blah. I'm like, I didn't grow up with a father. Me either. I don't have any money, so I'm not doing what you're doing. I'm doing things that are making me happy. So what's your excuse? If you wake up, you won the freaking lottery. Now what are you going to do with it? You're going to sit here and cry about it, or you're going to do something with your life? And that's why me and you got along, well, we don't now, but back when we first met, we got along so well, because it's the mindset. It's like, we don't sit and cry over what happened. We're looking out our front window, not the rearview mirror. Oh, I like that quote. That's a good one. I have a friend that was like that, and he doesn't know where to find himself now, and he's older, and he says, I just don't know what to do. I had success, and I'm sitting here, and I get up in the morning, I sit around the house. I said, no, you got to get out of the house. Even my mom in her 90s got out of the house every day. She went to a little coffee shop, and she met with all her friends down there and sat and chatted, and that shows life and people around you, and it gets you motivated to do something. And like, I go to the gym, that's my office. I go in the morning, first thing, I greet people, I work out, I feel fresh, I feel good, and then that keeps your day going to do things you like to do. I start my shows in the 1 in the afternoon, work on my editing, before I know it, the day's gone. But I do get out of the house and go have coffee and take a break and socialize with new people that I haven't met. I always meet somebody somewhere. And that inspires me to do something else and talk about something else and maybe write about something else, because you learn from other people. Yeah, and that conversation keeps this sharp. It does. Right? When you have stimulating conversation, like me and you before we started shooting, we're sitting 45 minutes waiting for this guy we're not going to name. Yeah. Waiting for him to show up and make noise in your room, on the floor. But we're talking 45 minutes. It's just stimulating conversation. There's in the book Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell has this book Outliers, and he said there was this town in Italy where the average rate of when people die is like 95. Is because it's old school. It's like an old town where everybody talks to each other. Everybody knows everybody. So they have that sense of community. And I think there's a lot of people, we met people today, lady just sat next to us and just started talking to us. They don't have someone to talk to. Right. So I think it's big when you have people like you and myself and other people where we're going out and just, we don't care about what you look like or what no, I talk to people everywhere, and the problem today is cell phones with the headsets, because they don't communicate. They stay withdrawn, and they don't try to talk to people, and you can learn from other people. Everybody has a story. I just said this the other day about somebody walking down the street, all these different people, they go home to a different story every night. Yep. And who knows what their story is? It could be something really cool, or it could be something tragedy, but sometimes you'll sit next to somebody, you don't know who they are, and all of a sudden they could be the most successful person in the world. Yep. And you don't know it. You didn't talk to them. So it's good to talk. It's how you learn, and then take the best of that and apply it to yourself. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the blueprint for anything you want out of life is out there. Yeah. If you want to be successful in the fitness industry,
I can look to my left. If I want to be successful, I can't look anywhere else in the room because the person that's with us is, he's a clown.
Yeah.
But
he's on his cell phone.
Yeah, he's on his cell phone, like you just said. But the blueprint to anything you want is out there. There's no excuses. What's the difference between you making it and someone else making it? They're human just like you.
Yeah. What the thing is that somebody said if you want something bad enough, you can get it. And I've heard this for years, and people say, I really want it bad. I said, how bad? You want it bad enough? Oh, I want it bad enough. It's not true.
Yeah.
Because if you want it bad enough, you'd have it.
Yep.
And wanting it bad enough is one thing. Putting yourself out bad enough to get it is another.
Yeah.
You can take the steps, but you might not take the final step. You'll give up before you get there. You got to take that final step to get what you want.
Or you're about to take those steps, and you got people in your life, like you were saying, these haters, these trolls that are disguised as friends. They're throwing statistics at you and saying, oh, well, you're probably not going to make it. And you, because you're an idiot, you listen to them. And there's a bunch of people that are doing nothing. Like I tell people, never fill your circle with squares. Like I don't have anybody in my circle of friends, my tight-knit group, that aren't supportive of me, and I'm supportive of them,
Right.
So it's like when you hear that white noise, a lot of people listen to it and they stop going after what they want.
Is that racial? White noise?
A little bit. But I didn't think you get it, but you did. So
I have white man's gas.
I apologize.
I have white man's gas.
You definitely do.
So I just throw those grapes in there, for God's sakes. It's funny because people can be discouraging. When I was starting out in bodybuilding, growing up in another city, people would say, what do you want to do that for? You're going to turn fat when you're 25. That muscle will turn to fat. Well, first of all, muscle doesn't turn to fat, and fat doesn't turn to muscle. Two entirely separate things. What you do is build the muscle and lose the fat. And if you quit working out down the road, you probably will get fat because you're not doing any exercise, but the fat goes over the muscle, which actually makes you look heavier than you really are because you're covering up something with something else. Or, for example, I wanted to be a wrestler. No one does that. Who would want to be a wrestler in 1965? I do. Why? It's a carnival. It's this stupid. Blah, blah, blah. But I did it anyway. And now today, those same people want to take pictures with me when I go to class reunions because I did what I wanted to do. And I had a father-in-law way back in the day because I did some acting. No one wants to be an actor. They don't make any money. I see them in the YMCA working out. They're always looking for jobs. True. They were. But I got lucky. Or I don't know if I got lucky. I was persistent. And I got some really good roles, and I went after it, and I joined the Screen Actors Guild, and then I got my insurance, and then one thing led to another, to another, to another, to another, and I got what I wanted. And the same thing in wrestling. The door opened up, I got in, I got trained, I got into what I'm doing. Now, today, it's a different world. Yeah. It's very hard to become a motivational speaker. It's very hard to become a wrestler or an actor because it takes a lot more work. And you've got to be seen, and people got to like you. You've got to have all the elements it takes and the charisma to get up in front of somebody, have them buy a ticket and put asses in those seats to see you.
Yeah.
And I get calls from people who say, I want to be a wrestler. That's my biggest dream. I watch WWE all the time. I know my music, and I got my finishing move. I said, well, what are you going to do until your finishing move? You're just going to walk in and finish it with your music? I like music for
and
me.
The match is over.
Yeah, I like music for me and a little wind to blow my hair when I walk into Ralph's Market. That's my entry music into the market. So they really believe. I said, you need to look into the mirror. First of all, you got to be trained in the ring by a professional, and it costs money. Oh, really? I have to pay? I said, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you hire a trainer in the gym, you do it for free. If you go to eat a meal, do you pay the ticket? Or you say, oh, isn't that meal free?
Yeah.
Well, everything costs money, and if you want it bad enough, you'll pay for your training to become what you want to become. Then there is no guarantee you'll become it because it's a tough world. You may not be good enough. You may not get yourself in shape because 9 times out of 10 you don't go to a gym. You don't stay in shape. You're a big fat load getting in the ring with a t-shirt and a pair of jeans because you don't want your fat to show. Yeah. And that's not it. We're selling flesh in the ring. You got to have a good body. So people don't understand it. They just think they have it all. And when I tell them $50 for a class, oh really? Then I never hear from them again.
Yeah.
You can't afford $50?
Yeah. It's the investment.
I had people in the ring one day, and this girl comes with her mom and her mom's boyfriend today. I know them. Hey, Rick, can she take your class today and just work out? I said, sure, $50. Oh. And they went down the halfway my block and talked and got in their car and left. You mean between the three of you don't have $50 for a 2-hour class in wrestling? I'm not worth it with all my experience? Wow. That really pissed me off.
Yeah. That should. But that's why people try things, right? People say, oh, well, I'll try this because they don't want to put the investment. They don't want to go all in. You never hear someone say, I'm going to try to eat this pizza. No, they eat the whole freaking thing.
Try is a word I don't use. Try is like throw it out the window. Because when you try, you fail.
Yep.
Right?
Tries BS.
Yeah, it's fail.
It means you really don't think you can do it.
I'm going to do this, but I'm going to fail at it.
Yeah.
So try it, you're going to fail at it. You're going to sit down and say, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as trying. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Until the bitter end. And that's what it takes. I know, what was the thing I said once? Success comes in cans and failure comes in cans.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm going to steal it.
No, you're not.
I'm not going to steal it.
No, it's a white man's treasure.
Yeah. I wouldn't trade the black man's treasure, but it's a little explicit.
But it's true, because if you know, I can come home at night in the dark, and I can't see the lock from my key. Sometimes I need a light out there, so I go to put the key in, and in my mind I say, I'm not going to get this in, and I won't get it in.
Yeah.
I'll have to mess with it until I get it in there. Yeah. But if I come in there and say, I'm going to get this the first try, boom, it goes in, I unlock it.
Yeah.
Because my mind told me I could do it, and I will do it.
Sure.
If my mind tells me it's not going to happen, it won't happen.
Yeah. I tell people what we do is we plant seeds.
Yeah.
Whatever you plant is going to grow. You plant BS, you plant negativity, it's going to grow. You plant positivity, it's going to grow.
When I wrestled in the 70s, I planted seeds all over the United States, and I don't know if they're going to come knocking on my door someday and say, "Hey, Dad, I'm your son from Alabama."
Well, why is it in Alabama?
Because that's where I was. You know, I mean, I might have a 45-year-old black son come to me and say,
"Hi, Tyrone.
Hey, Pop, how you doing? Remember my mom?" "Nope, I'm sorry."
Hell no, I don't remember her.
That wasn't me.
But I remember that booty.
You're going to have to blame him. He has a mind of his own. 2 heads are better than one. Well, but you gotta look success in the face and say you can do it, and you can do it.
For sure.
And you and I both know guys in their 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s who are still like grappling around trying to say, what am I going to do with my life? What am I going to do with my life? But you found your niche. You know what you want.
Yeah. You said something when we were sitting at the kitchen table. You were like, said something about waking up, right, and getting to it. Well, when I wake up, I'm doing my purpose. When you wake up, you're doing your purpose. It's easy to get up.
Yeah.
When you're doing something you don't want to do, you put me in a cubicle. I'm not getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting up at never. All right? I don't want to be there. So when you're doing what you love to do, waking up is the easy part.
Yeah, well, I wake up early. I'm going through puberty.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
You sound like Bobby Brady.
Yeah, I'm waking up in the morning like 6:30, and I think I don't need to be up this early because I'm not going to go to the gym till 8:30 or 9. And I'll put the news on and I'll lay there, and I'll try to sleep a little bit more because I get up during the night a couple of times. I can't fall back to sleep, so I get up. But the extra few minutes in bed feels good. And, you know, I've earned the right to stay in bed a little bit longer. Yeah. But I do get up and I get at it and I eat and I leave and I know where I got to go. So that motivates me to go through my day. And here's the other thing. When I walk into the gym, I always get bombarded. "Hey, how you doing, Rick? How you doing?" Let me ask you a question. I always say I'm doing fine. It may be a day I'm not doing fine. It may be a day my joints hurt or my arthritis hurts or my lower back's killing me or my hips sore. But I keep going and I say I'm doing fine because in my mind, if I say it, then I'm going to feel it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And I'll do my workout and say, boy, I'm glad that was the best workout today. It was the best one I had. Even though that day I didn't really feel like doing it.
Well, when I first met you, I think you had like hand surgery.
I did.
And you're like, "Oh, just don't shake it too hard." But like, we just sat and BS and talked. I'm like, "When did you get this done?" You're like, yesterday or something like something crazy like that.
10 stitches in there.
Yeah.
And I went to the gym the next day and did legs. I went to the gym after that and I found upper body how to work without putting pressure on it because I knew I could. And of course the nurses say, "You can't go to the gym for the month." And the doctor says, "Rick, no, he's going tomorrow. I know him.
Yeah.
He's not going to stay home." I was awake during the surgery. I stayed awake. They gave me a local, and I watched them cut my hand open and really split it open all the way and cut that tendon that goes to your carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Stitch it up, wrap it up, and I went to lunch. But that's just me.
That's that old school toughness.
That's just me. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and you're a little crazy too, which is great.
Yeah, that's great. That's the good part. So you have a book?
I have 3 books.
Okay.
My last book is called Extraordinary: The Distance Between Good and Great. I was going to put you on the front cover, but I decided on my son. Sorry.
I can be your son. Who knows? No,
I'm just trying to think how it's going to work. I mean, we'd have to Benjamin Button that. Really Benjamin Button.
You can put me on the back cover, just the back of my head.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
I have that on my driver's license, the back of my head.
The back of your head?
Yeah. True story.
How did that happen?
I photoshopped it. So they could walk up from behind and see me. "Oh, you look just like the back of your head." Yep.
There's so many different jokes that I can say, but I'm not going to.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, my 3rd book came out. It's all about mindset. It's all about what we talk about. And somebody asked me yesterday, I was speaking in New Jersey, and they said, "What do you get inspired by?" And I get inspired by people like my man Rick, people that I meet every single day, things that I see, things that I read. And if you're not learning and constantly trying to learn and get yourself better, you only know what you know. You're going to stop and you're going to plateau at some point. So get out and learn from other people, read books, audio books, podcasts, everything.
It's funny you said that. I said to my daughter-in-law one time, I said, "I like this movie." She says, "How do you know?" I says, "I know what I like when I like it." And she kept yelling, "You know what you like when you like it? Of course you do. Why would you even say that?" No, I don't know what. I didn't mean to come out like that. It just did. So, and then where can we find you on the internet other than Rick's house?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, Cornell Thomas 34.
Yes.
Twitter at Cornell Thomas, and I actually have a podcast called Population Unplugged, and it's pretty damn good if I do say so myself.
Okay, I'm going to put that up so people can see it in the interview.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cornell, for
Thank
being
you,
here.
my friend.
This has been a real enlightening time for me. I really enjoyed you. You're an awesome guy.
Thank you.
I tease you.
Yeah, a lot.
Because I love you.
I love you.
You know, and that's what it's all about. You tease the ones you love. If you don't love me, don't take the time to tease them because it's not worth it. They don't get it anyway. It goes right over their head.
Yeah.
I go out to restaurants at night and I'm talking to waiters and I'm kidding around and they get it and some don't. I said, their girl says, it's not even worth it. Don't tell them. They don't get it.
Well, I appreciate you letting me in the house.
I let you use the front door. Yeah,
I
the front door.
appreciate that.
Very, very strange because all my friends come through the back door.
Yeah, that's a big step.
If somebody's on the front door, I usually think it's a solicitor.
Yeah.
It's usually the, who are those people, the Jehovah's Witnesses coming out? I answer the door naked. Can I help you? And they look at me like, oh God, and they run away. So that keeps them out of it. It says no solicitors. Don't you read that sign? Yeah, but. No, there's no buts. I'm not buying anything.
No, there's butts.
Yeah, there's butts.
There's butts. Just right
yeah,
when you
I'm not buying anything. Thank you guys for watching Rick's Corner. And I hope you enjoyed this because it's fun. And we'll see you all next time.
Drasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.